Hi, I'm Jason, owner of Scales and Tails in North Glen. Our address is 1470 West 104th Avenue. Stop by and check us out.
This is one of our snakes here. It's an albino labyrinth Burmese python. Basically, albinism is where it's lacking all dark pigment. The pattern is what they call labyrinth, where it's all like crazy and weird designed. He's about 14 feet, about 80 pounds, eats large rodents or rabbits. They basically, when they breed, they lay about 20 to 60 eggs. They take about 60 to 80 days to hatch. These guys originally come from Burma. They do like to move a lot. They're pretty rowdy. Like to squeeze on you a little bit.
Scales and Tails is where I come and get my reptiles.
What's up, folks? My name's Tommy, coming to you from Scales and Tails North Glen. Brought some buddies with me today. Got two crested geckos. Some of you might be familiar with these. They're otherwise known as the eyelash geckos. Get a close-up on those. They've got almost looks like eyelash replica above their eye. They range originally from New Caledonia, the South Pacific, some islands from the South Pacific, off the coast of Australia. Nowadays, captive bred in high quantity. There are many different designer morphs, different fancy versions of them. What I got here is a Harlequin pinstripe, male. Harlequin being bright, pinstripe, the white coming down the back. And then I've got the female here. She's a what they call a cream Dalmatian, so she's real bright, light by the cream gene. And then she's got lots of Dalmatian speckling all over her body. Real impressive. These guys here are full grown. They get about 6 to 8 inches when they're born. They hatch out at about 1 to 2 inches total length. Full grown here at about 8 inches total length with tail. They're considered arboreal species, so they only hang out in the trees. You notice how they have these pads, they stick to my fingers. Defying the laws of gravity. Pretty neat though, one of the only geckos that if its tail drops off, it's a self-defense mechanism they have naturally, but if the tail drops off on this species, it will not regenerate. On most species of gecko, it does. They're dropping 2 to 4 eggs about 2 to 4 times a year, about 2 to 4 weeks apart on average. And this guy here, this is a little baby crested gecko, about 4 weeks old. Gives you an idea of how tiny they are when they're hatched out. And within 18 months, they're anywhere between 5 and 7 inches total length if fed properly. We feed these guys a high enriched diet of crickets with lots of calcium. Also Rapashi diet, Rapashi crested gecko diet, which is a powder supplement that you add water to. It turns into like a mushy paste, and they come up and lick on it. In the wild, they're eating nectars and stuff like that. So it comes natural to them, and it's like a superfood. Gets them going, keeps them healthy.
Geckos at Scales and Tails are super cute.
any of our Scales and Tails locations, you can get what we use and recommend to everyone out there. Our favorite product, Zoom Ed. You can get all the lighting, all the bedding, anything you need from Zoom Ed. They are the best in reptile care.
We use and love Zoom Ed.
Hi, I'm Adam, Vice President of Scales and Tails Franchising. We currently have established turnkey operations available in Lakewood and Fort Collins. For as little as $50,000 down, you can own your own Scales and Tails store, and our team of experts will guide you every step of the way. There are only a few territories left in Colorado, and then we're setting our sights on the rest of the nation.
Join our team at Scales and Tails.
At any of our Scales and Tails locations, you can get what we use and recommend to everyone out there. Our favorite product, Zoom Ed. You can get all the lighting, all the bedding, anything you need from Zoom Ed. They are the best in reptile care.
We use and love Zoom Ed.
This is one of our really unique ball pythons we have here at Scales and Tails. This is a caramel melt that is het for Desert Ghost. So basically this is a 2-gene and color pattern morph, where they basically, it's got the really reticulated pattern, which is like the melted pattern they call. The caramel albinism is basically lacking all darker pigments. There's a few different types, like the Tyrannese, positive Tyrannese negative albino, which is the regular Tyrannese positive albinos are going to be more like the caramel color like this, where the T minus basically would be the solid white and yellow. This guy also has a heterozygous trait for a Desert Ghost, which is another brighter morph that's silver and black. Basically, that's basically where people have like blue eyes or brown eyes. Basically brown eyes are a lot more dominant, where they have basically different colorations, different patterns. It's basically like the genes that are carrying in the snake. Ball pythons averagely get about 4 to 5 feet. This is a male ball python, so he's only going to reach probably that 4-foot mark. He's eating on usually like medium rats. They are very active, very docile snake, really good for children. They don't take a lot to house, they're really easy to take care of. They're really fun to have. This particular snake's worth about 25 grand, so it's definitely a lot more expensive snake. It's not a typical one you'll see in everybody's collection. It's definitely a very unique and one-of-a-kind snake. You won't ever see another one in the world like this.
I love ball pythons.
So these are a few other types of ball pythons we have at the store. Basically a difference in size where they were like younger babies, which is a few months old and a couple years. These are both bumblebee ball pythons. This one's a bumblebee phantom, which is carrying a separate trait. This is basically a pastel and a spider. This one is a pastel, a spider, and a phantom gene, so it's got one extra gene where they'll kind of dull out. You can see definitely a huge color difference. This one you'll be averaging around $300. This one will be more upwards of like $2,200 to $2,500. This is a little female here. This is a male, where this one be eating like small crawler rat pups. This one also be eating about medium-sized rats. Usually an average, basically full-grown, they usually get about 3 feet like this guy is. We don't always carry more of the more expensive snakes in our stores, but we can definitely special order them if you'd like, and just let us know what you're looking for, what type of coloration you're looking for, and we can definitely see what we can get for you. Alright, I'm back in the back of the North Glen store. This is basically our tank room. We have a wide selection of all kinds of different sizes and tanks. We can always get other bigger ones or smaller ones if needed as well. And here's one of our really unique features at the store. This is our turtle pond. We've got a few different cool animals in here. This is one of our store pets. This is Carl. He's a spotted side neck. He's right now probably about 18 inches in shell length. He's really cool. He likes rodents, loves fish. Really unique character. He's got a really fun personality. He does like to bite though if you get really close to his face. You got to be careful around that. He's got these little tentacles because they live in really murky water naturally in the wild. So they kind of sense if there's hard like rocks or any debris in the way so they don't run into it. And then we have a few other ones in here as well. These are a really common, fun animal. This is called a red-eared slider turtle. This is a little male here. The easy way to tell the difference on these guys is the males actually have long claws in front, where normally with humans, women will have long claws. They use them basically to kind of show off for the females, I guess you could say, to kind of try and see if they like them. But these guys are really fun, really easy to take care of. They don't get as big as that guy. These guys only average about 10 to 12 inches in length. They'll eat fish as well, all that kind of different stuff. And we've got a few other animals in here. We have a Pacu we actually named Paco. He's been in store pet for here a while as well. Really neat guy. And we have a few other cichlids. But this is one of our really cool features. It's fun to watch them eat, all that kind of stuff.
The turtles at Scales and Tails are just too fun.
Back here with a couple bearded dragons. These are real popular. A lot of people know of them, know about them. The reason being, they're such a docile lizard. When you think dog tame reptile, you think bearded dragon. They also, stay around a manageable size, hitting 18 to 20 inches total length with tail. So for folks that are kind of looking for that intermediate, something bigger than what might exceed a 10-gallon but won't take up a whole bedroom. They do eat a lot. They got to be kept really hot. Because they're kept really hot, they metabolize and digest really quick. Each one of these guys hammers, no matter the size, the adequate size cricket, they'll hammer 50 to 100 crickets a week. That's mixed with an assortment of vegetables and fruits and different other dried foods, wet foods. They'll eat different types of worms, but primarily insectivorous. However, when they're older, we can put them on mostly vegetables, 80% vegetables. So a lot of people enjoy that too. They do start out even smaller than this when they hatch. This is a striped tiger translucent, het hypo, a little bit fancier, higher end. And this here's a red sandfire, sub-adult to adult. And you notice he'll just kind of hang out. Real docile, real cool. And even at a young age, just kind of hanging out in my hand. Real personable, real docile. People love them for that. Some of them even respond to their name after so long. Just one of the few crazy critters we got down here, but again, a real popular one to definitely come and check out. We have specials on little guys all the way up to big guys. Make package deals with animal and setup to get you guys a good deal and get you everything you need to get set up for the best well-being of the animal. That way everybody wins.
I'm Adam, Vice President of Scales and Tails Franchising. We currently have established turnkey operations available in Lakewood and Fort Collins. For as little as $50,000 down, you can own your own Scales and Tails store, and our team of experts will guide you every step of the way. There are only a few territories left in Colorado, and then we're setting our sights on the rest of the nation.
Join our team at Scales and Tails.
Love reptiles? Scales and Tails has the best pet snakes, lizards, turtles, amphibians, invertebrates, sugar gliders, and even hedgehogs. Since 1996, our expert staff has been helping pet owners keep their pets happy and healthy. We carry the highest quality reptile products, including our feeders, which we breed ourselves to guarantee the highest quality available. For beginners or experts, Scales and Tails is your one-stop reptile shop. Come experience a pet shop where reptiles rule. Check us out with Reptile TV on Channel 3 KCDO Saturday mornings.
Coming to you live from Scales and Tails North Glen, Tommy again. I got a Hypo-Burmese right here. This here, hypomelanistic, meaning that the scale pattern is the color's reduced pigment. It's real white. Normally the snake is a lot darker, but you notice it's real white and vibrant. And that's the hypomelanistic gene that it carries. This is becoming more and more of a rarity, considering the snake is getting harder and harder to get, Burmese in general. A lot of the larger snakes, harder and harder to get because they're protected. This is a Hypo-Burm male. Like I said, one of the few. We feed this guy large rats. This is also one of the giant snakes of the world that'll hit, lengths of 15 to 20 feet or better, depending on how you feed it, and real heavy bodied. Gets really, really big. A couple 100 pounds, just like the albino labyrinth that we showed you earlier. This guy's still young, probably under a year old, doing really well, really healthy. Just some of the selection that we have down here. Again, harder to get, but if it's out there, we can get it.
And now another snake from Scales and Tails North.
All right, Tommy here, down at Scales and Tails North Glen. One of the animals, another animal we carry pretty frequently is the carpet python. This here is the jungle carpet. You see the vibrant yellow and black pattern it has. Pretty docile, hitting up to lengths of 6+ feet on average. About as big around as a golf ball, or bigger when it's full size. Again, ranging from the Australian area, the Aussie/Indo area. We feed this guy small rats about once a week. Likes it real humid, nice and tropical. He's semi-arboreal, so he likes to hang out in the trees, but he spends a lot of time on the ground too, looking for food and hanging out. So he's kind of all over the place. We give him a lot of ground space and lots of height.
Hi, I'm Adam, Vice President of Scales and Tails Franchising. We currently have established turnkey operations available in Lakewood and Fort Collins. For as little as $50,000 down, you can own your own Scales and Tails store, and our team of experts will guide you every step of the way. There are only a few territories left in Colorado, and then we're setting our sights on the rest of the nation.
Join our team at Scales and Tails.
Love reptiles? Scales and Tails has the best pet snakes, lizards, turtles, amphibians, invertebrates, sugar gliders, and even hedgehogs. Since 1996, our expert staff has been helping pet owners keep their pets happy and healthy. We carry the highest quality reptile products, including our feeders, which we breed ourselves to guarantee the highest quality available. For beginners or experts, Scales and Tails is your one-stop reptile shop. Come experience a pet shop where reptiles rule. Check us out with Reptile TV on Channel 3 KCDO Saturday mornings.
Where can you go to find the best in exotic animals? Scales and Tails. Turtles, pythons, frogs, lizards, sugar gliders, reptiles the zoo doesn't even have, and much more. Scales and Tails is your one-stop shop, including feeders and a full line of supplies to keep your animal happy, with a knowledgeable staff to answer all of your questions. The displays at Scales and Tails are so cool, they should charge admission. Scales and Tails, where reptiles rule.
Hey guys, this is Tommy again, down at Scales and Tails Northglenn. A couple of my buddies I brought in, Argentine red tegus and Argentine black and white tegus. Over here we got my big boy, Big Red. He's a big Argentine red tegu. He's actually in shed right now, so it doesn't do him justice, but he is bright, vibrant red when he peels. And when I say in shed, I mean he's getting ready to peel outer layer of scales to reveal brand new fresh scale. As they grow, they shed out. She just shed. This is my Argentine black and white. She's real vibrant, real pretty. Her name's Lucy. This is her boyfriend, Big Haas. Just puppy tame. I've had these guys for several years. We raised them up. They know who I am. This is the newest edition. Haven't quite found a name for her yet. She's a little nervous with these bigger guys. This is an Argentine red right here. Little girl. When these guys are born or hatched out, they start real light white, almost pink. And as they get older, they blast out in red, like this guy's done here. He's probably 4 years old. He'll probably reach a maximum length of up to 6 feet, 5 or 6 feet, and he's probably about 4 foot right now, or just, pushing 4 foot. His lady friend over there is probably about 3.5 to 4 feet, and she too will hit 4+ foot. Males generally getting larger than females. This one here is under a year old. When it started out, it was probably the size of, I don't know, 5 or 6 inches long total length. So with the right feeding and diet and adequate setup, they're kept right. They get big quick. Just to kind of show you, what's interesting too, these guys here, when the Argentine black and whites are hatched out, they're actually hatched out bright neon green with green and yellow highlights, and they have some black on them, but all that green turns white. And you notice that this one's throwing off some orange. I don't know if you can see that. That there, we don't know for sure to confirm, but that is supposed to be signs of ovulation. So this time of year would be the time that you would pair it up with the male, preferably another black and white, and breed them. Real gorgeous, real cool, puppy tame. They take a lot of work. Definitely a higher maintenance animal, and probably not a first time animal, but we do have them down here, and if we don't, we definitely can get them. It's something that sparks interest. They call me Tommy Tegu. Come check it out. Thank you.